Hi, I wonder if you remember the story of Sleeping Beauty and how she was raised by three good fairies. And those three good fairies gave up their powers for 16 years so they could hide Princess Aurora from the evil fairy Maleficent. Finally, though, the princess fell under Maleficent's powers and she put her into a deep sleep. And the three fairies brought Prince Philip to kiss her and wake her with the true love's kiss. Princess Aurora awoke and she married Prince Philip so that they could live happily ever after. But that's where our story begins. This book is titled Sleeping Beauty and the Good Fairies. And it was written by Dorothy Strebe and Annie North Bedford with pictures by the Walt Disney Studio. And there are the three good fairies. A happy bustle filled the little cottage in the woods. The three good fairies, Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather, were flying about the place as busy as merry buzzing bees. For the first time since her marriage to Prince Philip, the Princess Aurora was coming to visit them. So Flora waved her wand over the woodland flowers until each blossom glowed like a bit of rainbow. Fauna worked her magic on the baby birds, teaching them to twitter a welcome song. And Merryweather, with the help of the breezes, swept and dusted the little cottage until it shone with a magic glow. It was in this very cottage that the three fairies had raised the little princess from her christening day, and now she was coming to visit them here, and they were to go on with her to the castle of the king and queen to deck it out with magic for the homecoming feast. It was Merryweather who first heard the clippity-clop of distant hooves and the rumble of wheels on the royal coach far down the forest road. "Come, come, girls," Merryweather cried. "She's almost here. There's no time to lose." Quickly, she bent over the well beside the cottage for a mirror glance at herself. Plink, into the well fell her magic wand, but Merryweather was too excited to notice that. Up bustled Fauna, puffing just a bit. "Oh me," she cried, "do I look all right?" Over the well she bent for a glimpse, but just then the coachman's horn sounded loud and clear off among the trees, so Fauna did not hear the plink as her magic wand dropped into the well. Next came Flora, trying to be calm. "The dear girl," she fluttered. "How sweet of her to want to see us in the cottage again. But remember, we must not keep her long, for the king and queen will be waiting at the palace." As she spoke, she caught sight of the golden glint of the royal carriage approaching at last. "Oh," she cried, "is my cap on straight?" She bent to look, then turned toward the road as the coach came to a halt, and into the well, all unseen, fell a third magic wand. "Flora, Fauna, Merryweather," cried a voice they loved, and down from the golden coach stepped the Princess Aurora into the good fairy's arms. Together they went into the cottage where they had lived for so many happy years. "How lovely it is," said the happy princess, "just as I remembered, and so are you, sweet three." "Well, my dear," said Flora briskly, "now we must all be on our way, for your father and mother have kindly invited us to come to the castle with you and to decorate it for the homecoming feast. Oh, I bet they feel really privileged to get to help do that, and excited. Lovely, said the princess. You'll decorate it with your magic wands. Where are they, by the way? Right here, said Merryweather. Why, we wouldn't be without them, you know. No, indeed, said Fauna. Always right at hand. But they aren't, said Flora. Where are those wands? Well, they looked high and low, inside the cottage and out, but not a sign of them could they find. We cannot disappoint the king and queen, cried Merryweather. And everyone in the countryside, added Fauna. We must find them, said Flora firmly. Now let us think. What were we doing last with them? You were brightening up the woodland flowers, said Merryweather. So they hunted through the woods, but Flora's wand was not there. I bet you remember where they dropped them. I bet you remember, don't you? You were teaching the baby birds a welcome song, they reminded Fauna. So they hunted among the bushes and trees. They searched every bird's nest around, but Fauna's wand was not there. Don't you wish we could give them a hint? You, Merryweather, were sweeping out the cottage with the help of the little breezes. So they hunted all through the cottage again, but the wand was nowhere to be seen. Now the sun was sinking beyond the deep woods. At the castle, everyone would be waiting, they knew. What in the world could they do? I know, said Princess Aurora. I'll ask the wishing well. So over the wishing well's edge she bent. Why, it's all a sparkle with sunbeams, she cried, and starlight and rainbows deep inside the well. Our wands, cried the fairies. Tugging all together on the rope, they pulled up the bucket in the well. Up it came, full to the brim with magic wands and sunbeams and such. Then into the carriage the four of them flew, and away went the horses, clippity-clip, off to the castle. It soon was aglow with sunbeams and starlight and lovelight too, for the Princess Aurora's homecoming, and a lovely time was had by all. I had a lovely time with you too. We could have told those fairies where they'd left their magic wands, but they didn't ask us. I had a lovely time reading, and I hope you had a lovely time too. And so, goodbye, Braden. Bye-bye, Eleanor. Goodbye, Hudson and Parker Jane and Chloe and Daisy and Henry and Ramona and Morgan and Amory and Asen and Kaya and Audrey and Bennett and Cora and Colleen's children and Miss Shepherd's lambs and Dr. Klein's kids, and to all of you who are taking a chance on reading my stories. Good night. I'll see you again.